Take a deep breath in. When your lungs are full, breathe out. And you're connecting mind with body. The same mind-body connection that's going to relax you is the mind-body connection through which you'll motivate yourself, you'll encourage yourself, and you'll keep yourself on the right track, crediting yourself for what you can do as only one person, living one day at a time. No commentary is needed on what you haven't done by the end of the day. But sometimes in this world, someone's got to recognize your achievements. Commentary often is needed on what you achieve. So wherever you achieve relaxation in these first few minutes, I'll have you recognize it. I'll have you give yourself credit for it. I'll have you celebrate the success. Now, we'll begin at the top of your head. And we'll begin by relaxing the muscles of your face. Through this same mind-body connection that was asking your lungs for deep breaths, ask the muscles of your face for deeper relaxation, especially the muscles around your eyes, the muscles of your jaw. These parts of you that normally have things they have to do, but for the duration of this session, your eyes have nothing to do, your jaw has nothing to do. You can let those muscles be soft and relaxed and comfortable. And when you feel your muscles respond to your signal, give yourself credit for it. You are successfully relaxing your body incrementally, so that within a few minutes you'll be much more relaxed from head to toe, and then we'll keep taking it from there. Send that relaxation down from your jaw into your neck and your shoulders. It's especially the muscles of your neck and shoulders that sometimes need to hear that they can relax too, that they can soften too. So send that message down to your neck and your shoulders and recognize where you're successfully relaxing those muscles. Then send the softness down your arms, down the biceps and triceps, into your forearms, your hands, and your fingers. Send the relaxation down your back. Sometimes your back's another one of those parts of the body that does a lot of work and needs the extra positive attention where you're communicating to the muscles of your back they have no burden to bear here. Those muscles can join in the relaxation and softness, especially as you feel the cushioning support your body. Then send the softness down to the muscles of your hips. Down into your legs. Through the muscles of your legs. All of the way down past your knees. Into your calves, your ankles, and your feet. From head to toe, you've given your body some positive attention and you've given it some guidance to relax. Now imagine you're supported on a gigantic elevator platform. As you hear me count down, you're going even deeper than this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here the platform comes to a slow, complete stop. Here you can feel your body positively and be in a headspace where you can be without having to do or accomplish. Because you can put the brakes on, because you can relax, after the session, you can get things done. There's absolutely a time and place to relax, and another time and place to accomplish, to achieve, to problem solve, to think, to plan, and to act. As Earth turns on its axis, every 24 hours you have about 16 waking hours at the start of every morning. 16 hours in which to think, to plan, to act, to do, to accomplish. And then Earth keeps turning. Bedtime inevitably will come. And then the time will come to do nothing and accomplish nothing. Sometimes during the day you get a break, like during an experience like this. And at other times, when your schedule's clear, when you're well enough rested, it'll be time to act upon the world, to take care of yourself and others, to fulfill obligations and duties, and to help make this world slightly better with your presence in it. Day after day, you've been witnessing that tomorrow does come. We must live knowing there's going to be a tomorrow. Sound decision-making follows from living as though there's definitely a tomorrow, and you'll be there to witness the consequences of all your decisions. The people you know who live as though there's no tomorrow encounter tomorrow morning anyway. Those who live as though there is tomorrow will be waking up a little bit more healthy, a little bit more prepared. You can be among those living as though there's definitely a tomorrow, which makes anything you do today preparation for tomorrow. Because you're going to see tomorrow, you'll be there to witness the consequences of any actions or decisions, whether positive or negative. So let the consequences be positive. When one is well rested, when one has done things that make them proud, then you are setting yourself up for a better tomorrow, which you will see. Whether it's something as simple as feeding yourself well or wearing enough sunscreen, living as though there's gonna be a tomorrow makes you a little bit healthier every day. In all your endeavors, the worthiest endeavors will take multiple days, sometimes even multiple years to complete. And that's okay. It's worth getting started. It's worth getting underway. It's worth seeing long-term projects through, because you're going to have enough tomorrows to see the positive consequences of completing your projects, personal or professional. Probably one day you're even going to have grown old. Probably one day you're retired in your 70s. The mission between now and then is to live so that when you're old, you look back proud of what you've accomplished with what you had. No commentary is needed on what you haven't accomplished. No commentary is needed on where you'd fallen short when you've done enough that is worth looking at to have something to celebrate. Each night when you go to bed, you can sum up what you have done during only about 16 waking hours, including acts of self-care and self-love, including service to others, including professional accomplishments. Let every day be full enough of activity that when you go to bed at night, you can look back thinking, it's been a good day. Now I shall rest. It's worth living on the longer timeline of 1 year, so that at the end of the year, you can think, it's been a good year, now I shall celebrate. It's worth living an entire lifetime, so that as you grow old, you can look back thinking it's a good life. It's worth living unregrettably for a future you who's going to exist when the time comes. It's worth living knowing there's definitely a tomorrow, and tomorrow has a tomorrow. And even next year has a year after that you'll be around to witness. It means that just as every mountain is climbed 1 foothold at a time, and every marathon is completed 1 step at a time, you're taking life 1 moment, 1 day, 1 year at a time. If this is how mountains are successfully climbed, and marathons are successfully completed, and illustrious lives are successfully lived, then you're doing as winners do. When you take each project, each task, each day of your life 1 step at a time. You don't have to wait for the conditions to be perfect or the moment to be perfect. When in this complex world, there's no such thing as perfection, though there is such a thing as good enough. There is such a thing as having enough that you can take a next step. There is such a thing as enough that the work could be published or released or delivered. And that's how things get done. Not by waiting for everything to be perfect first, but by taking things 1 step at a time until you cross that threshold of good enough. Good enough gets albums recorded, novels published. Good enough gets skyscrapers built. Good enough gets software released. Good enough has people graduating from elementary school and high school and university every single year. And though no one on earth is perfect, none of us is beyond scrutiny or reproach or criticism, each of us is on a lifelong journey to doing what we can as only one person in one lifetime within the limitations of one human body. You must credit yourself for what you can do and what you have done. Because not a single person can do everything. 8 billion human beings collectively bear the burdens of the world on our shoulders. It's not all on you. You have 1/8 billionth the weight of the world on your shoulders, and that's a load you can carry. At the end of a task, at the end of a project, at the end of a day, you can sum up what you have done. Recognize it. Celebrate the success. Celebrate the milestone. Future successes and milestones will have someone there to celebrate as well. It used to be, maybe it'd be a favorite teacher or a parent who would celebrate when you got an A, when you did well, when you won the championship. These days, you are witness to all your successes. Others will often witness your successes. You will always be witness to your successes. Like your better teachers and parents in their better moments, you must be the one to think, hey, good work, well done, keep it up, great job. And it keeps you on a path to continually reach each milestone, complete each task, complete each day, complete each year. More and more, you can accept what you're capable of doing in one day. It's good enough that at the end of the day, you can rest and you shall rest. And the next day, you'll have another 16 hours to do more. And the next day, you'll have another 16 hours to do more. I mean, for some days it's 15 hours, some days it's 17 hours. But roughly, that number of hours is available to you at the beginning of every day. It's as many hours as your favorite entrepreneurs, your favorite leaders, your favorite creators, your favorite writers, musicians, and artists. Those with a large body of work have only as many hours as you each day. Only roughly as many decades as you in one lifetime. When you value every hour and every day too, by the time you're old, you'll have made your impact on this world. In your endeavors, set your heart and mind on success. If very few people have any authority to say, hey, good work, well done, but many people take it upon themselves to criticize, to snipe, to take pot shots. There has to be someone there on your side, believing in you, encouraging you. So delegate the pessimism and the cynicism, the negativity. You're going to be the one thinking like your best teachers spoke to you, telling you, I know you've got it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Notice how your body feels when you're telling yourself, I've got it. I can do it. Doesn't it summon forth a sense of capability and strength? That's how you properly communicate with a human being who listens to the thoughts in your head. As you run each marathon and climb each mountain, You will be the one to encourage you, to motivate you to keep yourself on path, to stay the course. In your heart and mind, you'll set your sights on winning, on succeeding, on completing each day, thinking, I did what I could with the hours, the resources, and the wherewithal that I had. You can complete each year thinking, I've done enough this year, I can celebrate. You could even complete a lifetime thinking you were one of 8 billion people. You didn't have the whole weight of the world on your shoulders, but you bore your burdens well. You did your part. You helped to make this world a little bit better with your presence in it. And that's a good life. So much regret used to follow from finishing a day, thinking that you had 16 waking hours, and you squandered them. But you don't have to wait for the right conditions or the right moment to begin making use of each of those hours. The moment that you're out of bed in the morning, it's good enough to start your day. When you've started your day, it's good enough to keep going forward. When you keep going forward, it's good enough to complete many tasks each day. And at the end of each day, you can credit yourself for what you can do. With only the time you have as only one person, with only one person's wherewithal to get things done. Every night you can have the satisfaction of thinking you've done well, which means the next morning you can start your morning knowing you're going to do well. Not perfectly. You're not going to have been able to do everything by the end of the day. You won't be able to bear the weight of 8 billion people's burdens upon your shoulders. But when you look at what you can accomplish and what you have accomplished, every day can be a day where you look back thinking that you use your time well. After all, marathons are completed one little step at a time, not in giant leaps and bounds, not dramatically via teleportation or helicopter. Every successful marathoner put one foot in front of the other until they crossed the finish line. Every successful mountaineer stayed on the slope until they reached the peak, even if sometimes they had to go back. Sometimes there's a dead end. Sometimes they had to choose a new path. Everyone who's peaked a mountain did it one foothold at a time. Everyone who's built a career, everyone who's built a rich and full life did it with only one day at a time. And your days are good enough for building a rich and full life that's unlike anybody else's rich and full life. Especially in an adult's endeavors, there's no such thing as perfect. There is such a thing as done. There is such a thing as delivered. There is such a thing as good enough. Good professional work is done, it's delivered, it's good enough. It's not actually perfect. You can do good work, hitting the mark of done, delivered, good enough, you can credit yourself for what you have done. And without faulting yourself for falling short of the illusory mark of perfection that no one expects from complex endeavors. Increasingly, you can look forward to hitting the mark and recognizing it. When you know you'll succeed, when you know you're going to hit the mark, when you know there's a witness at the finish line saying, hey, good work, well done, then you'll bridge the gap between here and there. The kind of delay that came from waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect moment goes away. When you recognize each day you have only 16 hours, and that's good enough to do what you can each day. The kind of delay that came from thinking, what's the point, goes away. When you know you'll be there, celebrating your successes and accomplishments. The kind of delay that comes from thinking you have to complete things in giant leaps and bounds, that goes away when you accept that one step at a time is how everything gets done, even the most magnificent projects. The kind of delay that comes from waiting for outside validation goes away when you take your own side and you set your heart and mind on success. The kind of delay that comes from living like there's no tomorrow goes away when you start to live knowing there's definitely a tomorrow and you're going to be there to witness it. So why not set yourself up for a better future? Unimpeded by these common forms of delay, you can get things done tonight and tomorrow and the next day and the next, to see for yourself in real life that so many delays were illusory. The kinds of delays that I had named are illusory. They go away when you value every moment of every day, living as though there's gonna be a bedtime and then there's gonna be a tomorrow, and that's fine. You don't have to do everything. You'll do enough that when you go to bed, you're happy. When you wake up tomorrow, you're a little better off tomorrow because of what you've done today. It's how successful careers are completed. It's how businesses are launched and grow. The people you've seen accomplish great things are not superhuman. They can only be in one place at a time. They have only about 16 waking hours in a day. Among those hours, they have to perform acts of self-care. You have everything within you to accomplish great things too. And just like your heroes, you also can miss the mark of perfection, but hit the mark of done and delivered. You can hit the mark of good enough. You can hit the mark of helpful, beneficial. You can hit the mark of truthful, authentic, well-spoken, and totally miss the mark of perfection and still end the day proud and happy for what you have done. In this world, where absolutely every marathon is completed one step at a time, Every mountain's climbed one foothold at a time. Every child grows one cell at a time, one meal at a time, one day at a time. You have many reasons to encourage yourself, to celebrate your successes, when you're taking life one step at a time. Already, as you hear me describe you in this world, you can start to catch up on your self-encouragement and your self-motivation and your recognition of where you've crossed worthwhile finish lines and where you've succeeded, even where you were not perfect. Giving yourself a witness to your successes guarantees there will be an emotional payoff at the end of every task and project. You used to seek this emotional payoff in maybe a happy parent or a happy teacher or a happy coach. In adulthood, you're the one who can witness and celebrate every success, minor or major. Not even a good parent can promise that they're always going to be there to witness and celebrate your successes. But you can promise to yourself you will always be there to witness and celebrate your successes, which means you can do things for you now. You can do things assured that someone will see you win. Someone will celebrate at the finish line. Someone will help you look past the cynicism or pessimism to see the merits. A full summation of all that you have adds up to your ability to make the most out of the rest of today. We must first recognize, what do we have to make our day out of? And then we can answer the question of, what shall I do next with all that I've got? When you see the glass as half full, you can then ask, shall I hydrate myself, or does the cat need water? Or maybe it's that plant, or maybe a friend. You must first recognize what you have, though, and then you know what you can do with what you have. So we recognize the 16-ish waking hours that you have. Even when your health is not perfect, let's recognize the health you have. Even if your senses are not perfect, let's recognize the senses you have. Even if your life is not perfect, let's recognize the life you have. Even if you don't have unlimited connections, resources, or capital, let's recognize the connections, the resources, and the capital that you have. Because when you start to sum it up, you can then answer the question of, well, what shall I do next with all of this? What you have is already good enough to get things done today and tomorrow. You don't have to wait for the conditions or the moment to be perfect if you can sum up what you have and count it as good enough. Books can only be written with the vocabulary and the ideas contained within the author. But if the author uses their vocabulary and their ideas, they can potentially write hundreds of books over one lifetime. Businesses can only be started with the talent, the capital, and the opportunities that the entrepreneur has access to. But when the entrepreneur starts to sum up What capital do I have or have access to? What resources, what talent do I have? They can start a business. They can grow their business. The glass is half full. That's where you see the substance comprising your life and thereby answer the question of what shall I do with all that I have? More and more you can see yourself as capable in a world that is full of opportunity. But one must be looking for the capabilities. One must be looking for opportunities to apply those capabilities, to then see them. So I leave it to you to answer the questions of what have I got and what can I do with what I've got? At the start of the morning, you have many more hours than in the evening. Earlier in life, you might have less capital and wisdom and connections, but you probably have more time. You definitely have more future years. Later in life, you might have more capital, more connections. You might have less time, whether in the day or in the future. Sometimes later in life, we have less health to work with. But still, when you have enough health, you put it together with everything else that you have that you didn't have when you were younger, and it's enough to make another day out of. Then feel all of this sink in. With all your heart and mind and body. Embrace where your glass is half full. Embrace the hours you have each day. Embrace the health you have, the connections you have, even capital or access to capital that you have if you need capital for anything. Embrace the talents you have, the skills you have, the knowledge you have, the experience you have, because all of this means you can get things done with what you already have. You can take steps forward in whatever you've chosen as a mountain or a marathon. And if at the end of every 16-hour day, the thing's not yet done, it means you've taken on a worthy enough challenge that you have much to celebrate when you're finally done. You'll be there to celebrate for sure. Other people might be there to celebrate. You will be there to celebrate for sure. You'll recognize your wins for sure. You'll recognize your successes for sure, because that's a vow you can keep. So let that sink in too. As you hear me count up, bring all your attention outward to return fully back to this room out here. 1, become aware of your body and the cushions now. Become aware of every breath, bringing increasing energy into your system. 2, notice how the music fades. Become aware of any other sounds outside of my voice. Become aware of where you are, what time of day it is, what you have planned after this. Become aware of how you've still got some time to make your bedtime a little prouder when the time comes. And you certainly have a lot more time tomorrow to sum up what you have and make a good day out of everything that you have tomorrow. 3, then become more aware and alert to your hands, your feet, where your back is resting. Become more aware and alert as to how good you feel. Not just because I've spoken, but because it's good to be you in this universe, and despite the imperfections of you and the universe, everything's still good enough. You'll make the rest of today out of what you've got today, and all of tomorrow out of what you have tomorrow. 4, energy then goes all the way up to the top of your head, making you feel refreshed and energized, making you feel clearer in every way, knowing you've made some changes in perspective here. Changes in perspective happen instantaneously and require no change to you, no change to your nature, no change to your circumstances. Just more complete accounting of what you have to make each day out of. And then 5, let it all sink in and open your eyes to return fully back to the room out here.